What is up, everybody? Today we got so much to say about Jussie Smollett and a lot more on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
Hey, with that new music. What? Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Dario Kristen on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend. I know Jussie's really into it right now.
I mean, you got to, otherwise we starting the show like, hey guys,
right,
this ain't CNN.
You're right about that. You're right about The Trend. We got Courtney Stewart with her queen sweater. Is that queen?
Yeah.
You are a queen.
I'm a queen.
You are a queen.
Sorry, I wrapped myself in my queen zone. Hey.
We got Jussie Janity.
What's up?
What?
No.
What was my tagline?
No, I was trying to get one. I was trying to go quick, but never mind. All right. And also, we got another queen in the house.
Black zipper.
Tanisha Laverne Grant is in the house. Yo, we had her on a couple weeks back. You know, she out here reporting for the Oscars and all kind of stuff.
Yes.
And we got her back in the house today. You got that's an outfit right there.
Yes.
You come slaying with the fashion.
Harlem, I
Yes.
gotta bring that NY City. This is goat hair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
It feels good.
It's quite nice.
It's, for y'all listening,
perfect.
you got to check out the video to see what this jacket. It's not a jacket, is it a?
It is a 3/4 length,
Okay.
you know, kind of throw.
Okay.
You know, it's perfect when you're in the city. You can layer it,
Okay.
or you can just go solo. Like today, I'm doing solo. It's not as cold in LA as it is in New York, but it is cold nonetheless.
Right.
That is
So
Yes.
while I
True.
couldn't bring all my furs,
Right.
my minks and my sables, I did decide to bring this little goat hair piece.
It looks good
Yeah.
though. Very,
Sock it to you,
very
West
warm
Coasters.
looking. Very warm looking. And now Courtney's over the winter, or what we call winter in LA.
It's not what we call it. This is like legit winter now.
It's the end of the
into
world.
the
Is it though?
30s. Yes, it's been in the 30s and 40s at night. That is
Yeah.
actual
It's
winter.
snowing in Calabasas.
Yeah, yo, it's real winter.
Global
the
warming.
high was 55 or something. No, that's not a high. That is a low. Okay, that is a low.
That's
for
our
Southern California.
typical winter.
Yes, we're supposed to get 55 at night, and it's still supposed to be 65 to 7 during the day. Y'all, I ain't seen a 70 degree in about 3 months.
Nope.
Wow.
I'm done.
I had no idea.
go
Yeah,
warming.
before
Yes.
October.
Yeah,
Before-
it was definitely before, because even on Halloween, I had on a fur coat.
Yeah, it was freezing. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
no.
See, I like it. I still like it.
No,
I mean,
no, no.
I just wish it would during the weekends it would be a little warmer.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So then
Yeah.
you don't like it. What
Yeah.
you want is your time in the warmth of the 70 to the 75.
But I like wearing a jacket and a sweater too, though.
briefly.
Well,
know
that's
what I
at
mean?
East Coast.
And
That's
we're
that East
done.
Coast.
Yeah.
Look,
you know.
don't get me wrong. I've gotten to break out some coats that I
Yeah.
never get to break out in Los Angeles, and it was fun. But it's done.
We're done.
yeah,
It's
You're
about
done.
to be.
Okay.
It's
you'll
about to
get
be
over it real
March.
quick.
It was
Yes.
a moment.
It was a moment.
The
it was
moment's
cute.
over.
It's about to be March. I need it to be sunshine.
That's crazy.
And
It's about to be
brunch
March
time.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about to be March. It's
Because
about to be
crazy
March.
things happen in the cold, y'all.
They do. Like what, Jussie?
Like,
Just say
as
it's
y'all
crazy.
know, we have talked about it on every show here on BHL, across the board, every show.
Whoa.
Everybody's talking about it. Instagram, Twitter is just a blaze about this. Mr. Jussie Smollett. So, you know, last I reported anything on it was, you know, because comes this thing with this whole fake news and like you don't know who to believe with anything, so you kind of have to in this day and age pause.
Right.
You know, the memes are funny and whatnot. Today was the first day I actually posted a meme because I was like,
And that was a good meme. We
Yeah,
can't
no,
play it,
man.
but it's good.
well, that one, but then I posted
Oh.
this other one with him dressed as the McDonald's thing, and it says, "Your sauce is in the bag, sir."
Ooh, yeah,
Because
that's
it's
good.
never in there.
It's never,
But anyway, so the last we reported is that Jussie, you know, he was attacked in Chicago. I'm sure you all know what happened. He claimed these two white men who had screamed MAGA country, put a noose around his neck, poured bleach on him. This is all allegedly what he said. And, you know, he was hospitalized. Well, he had gone to the hospital, gotten checked out. There were rumors that his ribs were cracked. He had this scrape on his face. But then we saw that he actually performed here in Los Angeles and made a statement where he, you know, denied certain things about the situation that were being said by other people and then proclaimed himself as the gay Tupac.
Whew.
Yes,
Which
he
I'm still trying to figure out
did.
where that
I was
the
trying to
context
understand like
for
how
that.
that made,
Yeah, me
like,
too.
where-
Yeah.
That was too much.
it was. Yeah, no.
That was a bit much.
But like, yeah.
But for me, and you know, the whole story sounded as a victim of being attacked myself, this sounded fishy from the beginning. But, everyone handles things differently. So then it was the interview that he did with Robin Roberts. And Courtney was actually the first person I hit up, and I was just like, yo, I mean, when you talk about, I want to feel emotion, because I was excited for him to do this sit down, because I can relate to something like this, and I wanted I wanted to hear his voice on what happened, and it just, to me, it seemed very defensive, and I can understand maybe being in a defensive place, being with all these cameras and looking at memes and stuff like that. But I didn't see the sorrow from the situation, because it is sad. It's sad that this could happen to anybody. And, there's a little bit of fear, like with a noose around your neck, bleach. Like, these are things that are deep-rooted evil. Like, it's not just like, he came at me, I'm going to bust him in his face. Like, this is deep-rooted. And needs to, if these men did do this, you need to use this right now. And I felt like it was being more used towards him. Well, that being said, Jussie, now all these things have come out with the Chicago police. He had sent over his phone records, but certain things were canceled and crossed out. And, he said he was protecting certain celebrities, which also, I'm kind of like, well, if you're giving it to the cops, it's not like the cops are going to take those records and be like, this is Paris Hilton.
Wait a second, we're talking about the Chicago PD here, and that's why a lot of people were very swift to stand with Jussie and advocate for him, because I, for one, do not get on social media and advocate. I have to wait until the story develops and unfolds and unfolds and unfolds, but I took a visceral reaction and was like, I stand with Jussie Smollett. And it's just it's so jarring, to say the least, because what this has done, what he's done, is incited more racial tension.
Yeah.
He has incited national outrage.
Allegedly.
So these two brothers came out, Ola and Abel Osundaro, something along the lines. They're Nigerian brothers.
Who have been extras on the show.
There's
pictured with Lee Daniels.
So this video gets
surrogate
released.
Father, Jussie's surrogate father, who, you remember the Instagram post that Lee Daniels made, and he was just like, you're my son.
Yeah.
I will be there shortly.
Yes, Daddy. So there's this video. These two men had came out and they basically have said that they were hired by Jussie to stage this. There's a video of these two men on a surveillance camera. Literally, I just want to know what the store clerk was thinking when they came up there with black gloves, rope, the ski mask. Like, hi, this looks like a freaking robbery.
Yeah.
Like, have you guys all seen the video?
Yeah.
That counter looked insane. I'm like, it is February, not October 31st. And whatever, Jussie turned himself in. And then actually this just came out today saying that during Jussie's time, he's now was bailed out, but he told the police that, and people have, like Courtney said, people have been waiting for this to come out, that he said he had a drug problem. He has a drug problem. Cops say Jussie bought ecstasy from one of the brothers. And if he was convicted, the drug issue could be a factor to get his sentence reduced.
I mean, it's funny. Yesterday, I actually was having a conversation with a friend. I said, the only defense he could say is that he was high and he was tripping, and when he was high, he did all this whole plan, and he gonna come out and say
it's premeditated. He did it so many days in advance.
Yeah.
I mean, you wrote a check for $3,500.
And the letter. He allegedly wrote the letter
that he supposedly
But I'm like, why would you have a paper? Anything? Why would you even have a paper trail? Pay cash. Pay them $35.
Or buy the mask at one store. But I don't want to sound like a criminal, but I'm just like, come on, y'all.
This is like 101 stupidity for criminals. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They keep going around this thing that he was so upset about his pay on Empire, which doesn't make sense to me, because if Lee Daniels is your, you know what I mean, your father
and that he was going to be written off, and Fox has already made statements that that's not true.
What would this MAGA country,
it would make him more high profile, and people care more about his character, supposedly. But regardless, like, the idea of the motive is probably coming from whatever he told, supposedly, these Nigerian brothers.
Right.
That may not be his motive at all, if he actually did it, because it's still alleged. He's only been accused. Regardless, at this point, Lord Jesus, why? It's Black History Month. Jesse, whatever he did, it did not happen the way he said it happened. Because we have enough proof that says something else happened.
It ain't right.
I don't know what that other else is, what other version of the story, but something else happened that was not what he reported. And I just don't understand how, why, at this time, he would ever. And I was trying to figure out if I knew anybody that, like, kind of knew him a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm trying to understand this man's mind. Like, I really want to understand this man's mind. And at one point, the funny part is that when it first came out, I told another friend that I was like, oh, this is going to be some kind of like performance art that he's trying to bring awareness to gay
that's what's been
crime.
on the street rumors that people were hoping to give some type of
he should have came out 4 days ago and
answer
said
to
that.
what was going on.
But when he didn't come out immediately
Right.
and make that
Yeah, he
be
can't say that
known,
now.
I was just like, oh, but then when all of this developed, I'm like, bruh, you really choreographed a whole situation and it wasn't even for like legit art purposes to bring any kind of positive to something else, even though I don't even know.
No, when you have, celebrities and strangers coming to bat for you and advocate for you, that is a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. I mean, what he allegedly did, if he is, I honestly think they're going to go for jail time.
Oh, I think they're going to make him example. And the way that is 3 years, $100,000
Do you think he should go to
bond.
jail?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he should.
And the reason being is the race thing, honestly, because
Hate crime.
Yeah.
A hate crime. If you're accusing someone of a hate crime, if someone attacked me, I want them to do the maximum.
Yeah.
The maximum. Okay? I mean, this history, nooses, we got fashion houses, blackface. Do the time.
Yeah. I mean,
This isn't a joke.
Time.
This is
And,
no joke. And then also, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've interviewed Jussie. I've interviewed other members of his family journey. I remember them as little kids in Beverly Hills. So I'm blown back. I take this so personally. I just want to be like, Jussie, what on earth did you do? Like, why did you do this? Why did you do this?
Yeah, I mean, I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, and my thing
And it's
is,
just like at the end of the day, like, I know people who have been on drugs. Ain't a drug this crazy or
This
this
is too
intense that will make someone orchestrate a crime, a fake crime
To this
of
extent.
this magnitude.
There's one drug.
What?
It's called fame.
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Blow said something of that effect a few weeks ago about, just the day and age that we're in and how fame is a drug. This attention-seeking atmosphere that we're in right now is pretty much the impetus of what drives people to do
Crazy things.
crazy.
Well, that's my thing is too is the arrogance of it, because what it boils down to when you're asking about should he do jail time, the reason I also believe that is because I know that he's gone on record. I saw something today that he said that this didn't affect anything with like the police taking away from them.
Which, by the way, it doesn't make any sense because they'll be like, this did not take anything away from any other cases.
Any other cases.
But in the same breath, they also say these resources could have been used to go after.
right.
So I'm like, so you are saying like, were
Right.
you Chicago y'all confused?
But just the thought that he actually even had created this so police would be taken away if something did happen. I mean, they could be. I mean, we all feel the way we feel about Chicago police, and
But now
police period.
But now
Police period.
it waters that down to
It
a
does.
certain extent because it's like, okay, well now you sat here, you milked this. You sat here, you milked the world that we live in. Yes, you put a magnifying glass because these things do happen. But to go to this effect, you don't need to stage it. It happens. You can find the cases. So be that person and stand for those cases. Don't, whatever this was. It's crazy. Like the fact that there is a man with a hit list out here trying to kill people within our government that's
true.
not even being reported because we're all laughing at you.
Yes,
Right.
that's true.
Or we're trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing.
And he
Yeah.
had a whole arsenal at his house, y'all. That was some serious.
Like
A
those
whole
pictures are
arsenal. Yeah,
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this is the end of Jesse's career?
It better be.
I mean, I don't know what he could do. Honestly, like I don't know what excuse you could come up, or it would have to be years
his
later.
Next
like,
level of career needs to be like serving
yes,
The,
outside of this country,
the
probably.
world,
the, the community, the
positive
world.
capacity.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll be back on something at some point.
Well, rumor has it, and this is just rumor, alleged, that when he posted bail, he actually went to the set of
Oh yeah,
Empire.
he was scheduled
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
And rumor has it that he told everybody there that he is not guilty of what he is
He's
accused
still
of.
sticking by the not guilty. Yep.
What in the hell? Like,
And
I know.
the thing is, it's hard. It's really hard, honestly, to go through the stories because there's so many, and it's like there's certain blogs and things that's just like I can't even go to that because I don't even know what they even trying to say, And we really just
This
have to
is-
wait for the court date. And there's this 4-page thing. I'll tweet it out, and this is what the jurors will be looking for to be proved against him. If all those 4 pages can be proved, then you safe, bro. But that's a lot of proof. And you out here whiting out names and stuff like that? I don't know.
Tawana Brawley is still paying or trying to pay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is very similar to
Yeah.
that case. Will he work again? Probably. Maybe never at this level. But, we were talking out in the hallway there, and I'm sure, somebody mentioned, oh, he can be on a reality show.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
Well, I said that's going to probably be his next bet is to do a reality show, let this die down a little bit, and then he'll try and revamp his career.
I'll fix my life.
Well,
Like-
we live in a country where it's like,
Yeah.
whatever. He'll gain a different type of fan base. I mean, R.
Yeah.
Kelly ain't in jail.
Oh,
Yeah, he still got videos coming out, but
So-
that's a different subject. Different day, different subject.
Oh wow.
I don't know how Jesse's gonna be able to get out of this. I mean, there's a lot of people who are coming to his defense. I know Tyler Perry says he still stands by
Well,
him.
Tyler Perry's was very like,
it's
let me just
loose.
not teeter.
Yeah, it's like not teetering. The showrunner of Empire said that they're still standing by Jesse. Now Lee hasn't really
You have
made
to say that.
any new statements.
Has anybody thought that Lee was involved?
Oh,
Because
well, that was a rumor.
If
That
this
was I
is
read
true,
that
if
today.
this was
Yeah.
set
I
up
read
by
that.
Jesse, I 100% believe that Lee was attached to this. I do. I feel that way. I will say it. I don't care, but I believe that. I don't believe Jesse creatively put this entire thing together by himself. Not to say
what
he
does
has
Lee
out-
have to gain by
the same thing
ratings.
Jesse can
You
get.
get ratings for the
God.
show.
This whole stunt
God.
sounds like it could like
it's
if
so
it was true.
toxic. It's
Yes.
It's
just
just gross.
I
But
don't know.
think
Yeah.
about fame
Literally
and
just
power.
gross.
People with fame and power sometimes feel that
Invincible.
invincible.
Yeah.
And if they can go above and beyond, why not? The
And that's
Kardashians do it
why-
all the time.
And that's why, for me, if he is guilty, I feel like he should do the time. Like I constantly think about the blood of our ancestors. I think about, those, slaves who are dumped overboard. I think about the lynchings. I think about the rapes and the beatings. I think about the LGBTQ. I mean, this is like come on, you guys. Like, this is what you want to stage? This is what you want to stage. Race.
Yeah.
Race in this country. This is what you want to stage.
And his PR team, why did they think it was a good idea to put him on Good Morning
Because they
America, by the
probably
way?
still believed him. I don't think they knew. I think they are on his team, and he's like, this happened to me. And they're like, all right, well, there's a lot of pushback. You go tell your story and let people empathize with you.
The
Which
concert
was
was
a
more
big move for
confusing
Fox
me.
because I've seen
what?
things
concert was more
happen.
confusing for me.
Oh, the concert.
2 days after you were
Well, some people would say, like, when horrible things happen, like, you're
Continue
still in
to
shock and you want to just push through and not, like, have your life stopped. And then it comes back later. There's people
Yeah.
that push things down and push through life, and then it comes back in a way they didn't expect and whatever kind of trauma. Like, you just never know.
How did
So
you
you can't.
think that you wouldn't get caught?
But
just-
but that's like you ask that of anybody that's been convicted or arrested for a crime. Most people that commit crimes don't think they're gonna get caught. Like, you don't commit a crime assuming you're gonna get caught.
I mean, I get that, but the way this was just planned out was just stupid. I mean, come on. I mean, you got receipts, you got a trail, you texting the dude talking about, I need you to, what do you say? Something about like, I need you to do a favor for me or something. You text the guy, or I need you to help me out on the low. oh, are you around to meet up to talk? I mean, this is all like, why are you texting that? You know what I mean? Why are you paying once again with a check? Like, don't leave a paper trail. Where they said that the guys took an Uber.
But
Took
wait.
an Uber.
But the 3,500, like that's all 3,500.
That's what I thought.
Also,
I thought they were gonna say
the
35,000. You know what I mean?
Baby.
The fee was pretty. But you know what? That
Good Lord.
$3,500 might have been a lot of money to
Yeah,
those two
sure.
guys.
I
Like,
mean-
if they're doing background work on Empire, they might be aspiring actors that don't have a lot of
well,
cash.
that-
I don't know.
Somebody needs
Nigerians
to-
know what money is.
That's,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They weren't very smart
Nigerians
about
know
that.
what money is.
You
They know what
know.
wealth is. And they $3,500.
It
I
ain't
don't know
it.
a Nigerian today outside of those two. If I had hair, it would have been blown off because I was
Yes.
like, what on earth?
But maybe they
I ain't risking going to
felt
jail
some
for
sort of
$3,500.
notoriety, some sort of fame on their part will come out of it because now people know who they are. They've seen their pictures. They
But
know
it's
their
infamous.
names. I mean, but people don't necessarily separate that, especially not
Some people don't
anymore.
care,
Some people
yeah.
don't care.
And
why
what is
they're
that going to get
famous.
them? So people know who they are as
People will
in
want to
a-
interview them. People will want them to write some kind of book about it because you don't know how much information is actually going to come out directly from Jussie because now he's on trial essentially. So he can't. If he's smart, he's not going to say very much. I'm sure his lawyers are like, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And we never know. It may end up being that he cuts a deal in some way, pleads out. He then has to, compensate the Chicago police, and maybe he's never allowed to talk about it again. Who knows? Like, you just don't know. So they have an opportunity to go on talk show circuits, be interviewed by people. Somebody might want them to write a book. Somebody might be like, ooh, they fit. Look at their bodies. Let's put them in a layout and talk about, like, what would make them do that.
Yeah,
'Cause
remember
we're
Prison Bay?
insane.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
that's true.
Fair
Like-
enough.
Right, good
Fair
point,
enough.
Jesse. That's true.
Just don't
That's
know.
true.
I mean,
That's true.
it's dismal and dark and awful. Like, don't get me wrong. I am not like
Right.
whatever, but I'm not confused. That's why, even though I'm like, Jesse, why? Because in my brain, I'm saying you're living the dream. You have this amazing job. Whether you're getting paid what you think you deserve, blah, 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 blah. You're on a national show that people love and still watch. Sorry, that made me laugh. Y'all still watch Empire?
Shady.
No.
I haven't watched
It was
Empire
real good, them first two seasons.
after
That
Whatever.
first
season
was
one.
great.
Nonetheless,
Y'all are crazy.
you
When
throw
she
your
came out in
dream
that
No
away.
shade,
monkey
no
suit.
shade.
When she came out in that monkey suit, I was done.
Yeah, we all kind of
I was
were.
like, what?
Whatever.
And the
Well,
Taraji P. Henson.
that's a dead horse. We're done beating. I guess we can.
Like, honestly, I'm just so, like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where it's like, I hate to say I can't wait for the trial, but I just need, I need facts to actually,
Me too.
flow out.
Yeah.
I'm done reading TMZ. If the Shade Room posts one more thing, I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
the shade room, yeah.
Y'all.
Well, I mean,
But
we
I
got
also
the-
still can't get enough.
that
I mean,
police-
because I'm just like, what
It's
else
like
is
watching
developed?
a train wreck,
It's watching
yeah.
a train wreck. Yep. It's like,
I mean,
what else
That press
will be
conference
developed?
kind of they gave a lot more information than I was expecting.
And that police chief
so-
was pissed. He's coming at Jesse, and he's a
Yeah.
black Chicago police chief. He's
Yeah.
like, he was going in when I saw that today. He was going in on Jesse. Jussie.
It's personal.
Yeah.
It's
Very
personal.
You can tell he took
we
it
have
personal.
this thing. We
Well,
have this
Trump, too.
thing
Yeah.
where
well,
we like to
I didn't care
say.
about that.
We have this thing as black people where we like to say, or if you're whatever, but as a black woman, we have this thing where we like to say, oh, I don't speak for all black women. But let me get out here and say something crazy tonight. My father and my mother be like, girl, it's
Yes.
personal. People
Yes.
are invested. We invest
Yeah.
in one another.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we were rooting for the
Yeah.
entire
We
thing.
were rooting
We
for
were
you.
rooting for you, and now you
We
make
were
us look
rooting
Yeah,
for
stupid.
you.
right.
Yeah.
Because we're like, he would never.
Yeah.
No.
And I think the saddest thing that I actually heard about it all, and I know you guys, we will get over this and
I know.
move on.
I know.
But the
It's okay.
saddest thing I did hear was they were talking about, I forget what I was watching, but they were talking about how Empire and his character being so beloved, especially by a black audience, is a big deal. And it maybe made some steps in our community to be more accepting of LGBTQ people and their plight, and watching his relationship with his father and all of that as a mirror to some abuse that definitely takes place in the community that's not talked about in an acceptance that we had not had before. And for him to do this, he may have literally squashed any steps forward that were made in that direction for a lot of people. And that's actually probably, to me, one of the saddest things to come out of this. Because you can pay the police department back, you can do time. Your career, that's your fault.
What's that cost, I
I'm not
wonder?
hurt.
Yeah.
I don't
What
know,
is that?
but I hope it
How
need
do
to
they
be-
figure
pay that
out
police
that
department
that
you pay
calculation
those
of
are
fees?
taxpayer monies.
Yeah.
So you definitely need to, and you should be offering that check. Just be like, look, y'all just take whatever here.
I hate crime. I hate crime.
It's just unnecessary. All
Well,
right.
we'll see how it develops.
Mr. Lagerfeld.
All right.
Yeah, well, moving on. Another interesting story that was sort of floating around the internets in the last few days is, as you guys may know or may not know, Karl Lagerfeld passed away at the age of 85 this week. He is the king of the fashion world. He was at the House of Chanel for many, many years. He previously had worked for Fendi, and he had done his own line. And everybody knows Karl Lagerfeld the same way that we, know Anna Wintour as the Vogue leader. Karl is the epitome of what high fashion is and the world of high fashion is. So lots of people, including lots of celebrities, were posting all of these wonderful tributes to Karl all over their pages. Celebrities like Tracee Ellis Ross and Rihanna and lots of others are posting like how much they loved him and he was so great and he's gone too soon, it's so sad, this creative man, blah, blah, blah. Well, one celebrity decided to kind of come for him. Like, she was, all up on her Twitters, like, oh, this is what, Karl, okay. Her name is Jamil. She's on The Good Place. She basically came out and after reading all of these amazing tributes, she pointed out in a moment on her own Twitter, and she said, quote, Karl was a ruthless, fat-phobic misogynist. Shouldn't be posted all over the internet as a saint gone too soon. Talented for sure, but not the best person. And then she proceeded, Cara Delevingne, who's an actress and a model, who was apparently like besties with Karl, got into the conversation and Jamila clapped back real hard. Y'all can go online and read all of that conversation. It was real good, okay? Because Jamila came back for her many a times and basically closed that Becky mouth by telling her, you are a tall, skinny white girl, therefore you were privileged in his eyes. So basically, Jamila kind of went into, for those of you that don't know, Karl has said some real sideways shiz over the years. He's an older fella, but some people would not be pleased by some of the things that he said. And I'll let you know a few of the things that he said over the years. He said about Pippa Middleton, who is the Duchess of Cambridge's sister, quote, should only show her back because he didn't like her face. He once told a French TV show in 2017 that he knows someone in Germany who took in a young Syrian, and after 4 days said the greatest thing Germany ever invented was the Holocaust. He was quoted last year basically saying he was, quote, fed up with the Me Too movement, and he's scolded models who complained about being groped, and he went on to say, quote, it's unbelievable. If you don't want your pants pulled down or about, you don't become a model. Join a nunnery. There'll always be a place for you in the convent. And he's just kind of been known to like not be the nicest to the plus size movement and the natural bodies movement and just an all around, misogyny is pretty good description
when you
of
hate
the things
yourself
that he
and
says.
you look like that in the mirror every day, maybe that's why he out here just
he's shooting it off. But some
crazy.
people are asking now, as we're in this movement of whether you're talking about R. Kelly and R. Kelly's art or Bill Cosby and Bill Cosby's art, all these other people, Harvey Weinstein, his art, or like whatever. Sometimes people do that related a little bit different because it's not actually his art himself from Harvey Weinstein. But should we still be celebrating him? Should we be like, cancel Chanel, cancel all of that he did, or should we really be celebrating his art the way that we are? Should we be canceling Karl?
No, R.I.P. Rest in peace, because death is its own thing. But at the end of the day, with everything that has come out in the past, just the month, let's just stick with what's happening in February, between the lips, the nooses, like this is crazy.
And this is
fucking
Black
crazy.
So are
History
you
Month.
saying Karl gets a pass because there's too much more important stuff?
No, I'm saying
trying to clarify.
No, he does not get a pass.
Okay, I'm just clarifying
Oh, yeah,
what
no,
you're saying, 'cause
I'm
it's
saying
really
this
quick.
goes in the same bucket as all of that. Like,
Interesting.
rest in peace.
Oh.
Rest in peace. God bless
Tanisha got
you.
thoughts. Tanisha got
However,
thoughts.
I do have
there are
thoughts.
She
so
rubbing
many.
the furs.
There are so
She
many
rubbing the
young
furs.
designers that everyone gets overlooked, or people won't invest their money into young black designers because they aren't in the catalogs or whatever. It's time for the new generation to step on up and put this fucking I can't with this trash.
This whole cancel thing is such an awful joke to me.
Because nobody will do it.
Because exactly. Exactly.
We should have
when
canceled many
first-
things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the memory is just so short and we're so forgiving, and that's why we can never really make any hard progress as far as I'm concerned. It was just so interesting to me. Like, I remember when Black Panther was released last year and I seen people dressed in African, what was African regalia bought at, I don't know, Marshall's, you know, with a Gucci belt around the waist.
Marshalls.
But she's so right.
You said Marshalls.
You
I'm about to
know,
fall up out of here.
And I'm just like, and I'm just like, y'all are killing me softly. Y'all are killing me. Cancel designers is something that's not happening. Black people will, you know, talk that talk.
But, yeah.
I'm not going to wear this.
they're not gonna do it.
I'm not going to wear that. Maybe for a small amount of time, but give a few months, and everybody will be back
Look
in
at
Gucci.
H&M.
Everybody will be back in Chanel. Chanel, forget about it. Ain't nobody canceling Chanel.
No.
It ain't even happening.
Well, not
Y'all
happening,
know-
but
y'all
that's a
know
different
you're not-
conversation.
Right.
Not happening. Whether or not it's actually feasible is a conversation.
Right.
Should it be?
Of
is
course it
different
should. There's a lot of
conversation.
stuff that we should
we
cancel.
So we are we thinking as a whole that we should not be separating people's art from the
their
person.
behavior. I wish we could
Hmm.
separate the behavior from the art. I really wish we could.
But it's also
I don't think
Hold on,
we
but
can.
we can. We actually do often. So then,
True.
if you think that should we not be doing that?
It's like I still like to watch, you know what I mean, The Cosby Show because of what it represented to me. But then when you hear, you know, this other stuff, it's like it's hard to do that.
Well, what happens
To
is,
that
I mean, when you talk about the Cosby Show, you think about all those other people who
Other-
will be affected
Yeah,
by
yeah.
it,
Right,
who
yeah.
may still get paychecks,
residual or something,
residuals
residuals,
from that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
These
you know,
fashion pictures,
right?
it's like,
you've
You know
already
what
done it,
And
we
that,
move
I mean,
on.
that is like the bigger conversation of how one person's behavior affects many.
Well, I told you the other day, I was called y'all and said, R. Kelly came on the radio, my body's calling, and it took all my will to turn that station because I wanted to hear it. I ain't gonna lie to
It's
you.
real interesting though, because for me, like R. Kelly, like it's not even hard because now when I hear it,
Yeah, it's like-
gross. Like it makes me feel gross.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
with
My
you on
body
that,
calling, I'm
Courtney.
like, calling for what?
Right, but,
And I'm
I'm
saying,
taking
like,
it to my
small-
own personal
Flintstone
moment.
vitamins?
I'm
Right.
seeing
You know what I'm
small
saying?
Right.
children's
I get
bodies.
exactly
like,
what
it's
you're
just,
saying.
Ooh, like that one. But then, like the Cosby Show, I'm not as affected. I see this.
Or Weinstein, then how they break it down, like, okay, well, yeah, but is that really his art? That's his finances.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. He like helped. He didn't create. Well, he was able to give that stuff a platform. He didn't actually create it in
Right.
most cases. So I don't know. It's
But
just
that's still
interesting
just as
conversation.
critical. I mean, anytime you're putting money behind something, it's still.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree with your point, Tanisha, because you said that we tend to forgive, right?
Right.
I mean, H&M. Remember
Jussie-
that we had
Jussie and
we had
Yeah.
the monkey,
But is
the
that
black
a
kid, and
bad
the monkey,
thing?
and then people were in an uproar and they stopped going to H&M for like a month, and then nobody talks
I
about
was
it
at the mall
anymore.
yesterday. I still didn't walk in H&M. But
Well, you are an exception to the
that
rule.
being
'cause-
said, is the forgiveness part though a bad thing? Like, should we be able to just forgive and get over it?
But are we really
It depends
on
forgiving?
what
Are
it
we
is.
forgiving, or are we just okay? Well, no one's gonna know. Like, I'm gonna still support it.
Well, nobody's hiding. Like, people. What's his name? Mayweather wasn't hiding that he's still gonna wear Gucci. Like,
True.
they like people still walking
He
in.
probably didn't read the
H&M,
article
like-
correctly.
Shut up.
You stupid. You stupid.
And nobody can hide when they're rocking their Gucci. Like the G's are everywhere.
Everywhere.
So
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and it's funny too because if you think about this, Karl Lagerfeld, and for her to come out and say this stuff, it actually, if you really dig deep, is disgusting on another level that we want to even fight to think about supporting this because what he's probably done in fashion and how that has affected the generation of men, women, body types, dysmorphias, like. That's crazy. That one person can have that effect on
Absolutely.
somebody.
Absolutely, for sure.
Absolutely. And that was the point that I was making. One person can have, you know, a long lasting effect. It's a reverberation of your behavior.
Yeah.
Affects many.
Listen, at the end of the day, I want to be his cat because he was worth 195
I heard
million, and
this.
today they said that the cat is
This makes
probably
no sense.
going to inherit all his millions.
Shut up. See,
Yeah.
this is lunacy.
195 million.
now that is why we should
Yeah.
cancel Karl
Yeah.
Lagerfeld.
Yeah.
Give it to your cat.
That's why.
That's right.
That's
we
why.
we gonna move on, Carl.
Of all the things you could do with that money.
What in the
195
white
million
people are you doing?
to his cat. So, all right. Someone we're not going to cancel is Obama because we're going to move on to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Your web story spotlight of the week.
Well, for everybody out there who thought Obama was just chilling, going on vacations, and doing some speeches periodically, he was doing a lot more than that because we have just found out that Obama is bringing basketball to Africa, y'all. Yep, he is teaming up with the NBA and the International Federation, and they are creating a new basketball league in Africa that will feature 12 teams from several countries, and the countries include Egypt, Kenya, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, and South Africa, and several others. So
What a way to be an inspiration.
that's what I'm talking about. It'll debut next year.
With number 45 in office.
Yeah.
What a way.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. That's going out with a
Yes.
bang and dropping the damn mic. That's what I'm
And
saying.
continuing with your own passions,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
just because you know he loves basketball,
He
and like
does.
that, this is a way to like bring something to the world and also be in your passion is just beautiful
love
and
him.
inspiring.
He
He's
sent
my
out a
Leo
tweet.
brother. He's about the collective work
We
and
all about those Leo life.
responsibility. Yeah,
Leo life.
yeah.
He sent out a tweet. It said, "I've always loved basketball because it's about building a team that's equal to more than the sum of its parts. Glad to see that this expansion into Africa. Glad to see this expansion in Africa because for a rising continent, this can be about a lot more than just what happens on the court."
That is true.
That is very true.
That is
so
very true.
kudos to you, Obama, and
That's
Love
awesome.
him.
you get the clap for that.
Great news. We want to end Black History Month on those notes.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what Trump does when he leaves office.
Let's not talk about Trump.
Right.
Well,
Well,
at least
hopefully
I talk
Black-
about him leaving office.
Let's not even bring up
No,
his name.
this was,
You
that
know
was
what?
a great way to go out.
All right, so
And we were
we'll go
on a
back to
good note,
Obama.
but since you brought that up, we still have hopes. That Mueller report is coming, and hopefully it's good.
Well,
See,
I
that's
hope
a
Black
good one.
History ends with Spike Lee taking home an Academy Award for
yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Klansman.
Yes, 'cause the Oscars are
Let's
this
talk
Sunday.
about that. Yes, 6 nominations for Black
6
Klansman.
nominations.
If he doesn't walk out of there with something,
He better walk out with the best director for his body of work because he been done deserved that. And I understand that other movies in that category, other directors in this particular moment should win over Black Klansman, but this is a body of work moment, and he deserves that moment.
I just want to see him do a speech. That's what I want to. I want to hear his speech at the Academy Awards.
I need him to win. I just need Black Klansman to win. I need Ruth Carter to win. She'll be the first African American to win for best costume
She will.
design.
I think she's gonna take that.
Yeah,
I put that on my
yeah,
pool.
yeah.
I think she'll take that.
put that
Regina
on my
King,
pool.
best supporting
Regina.
actress for. Now that I'm not really. I'm like.
I think
I
she's
don't-
gonna get it.
You think so?
I think she's
I
gonna
don't
get
know. I
it.
don't because sometimes it's when they do the predictions like who wins the SAG Awards.
'Cause
Sometimes
it-
they give it
Wait,
to you
what
at the SAG
category?
Awards.
Best
Best supporting actress.
because it's gonna split. Because what is it? Rachel Weisz and what's her name from The Favorite,
Oh right, yes.
and then the girl from Roma. Yeah, she's gonna take it.
That'll be big. I mean,
She's gonna take it. I believe it for
that'll
her.
be big.
I hope
so.
she does.
I believe it.
All right, well, tune in Sunday because they will be on.
Yes.
And there's a rumor that was going around that Whoopi is going to be the host.
I don't think they would lie that she's sick just so that she could be the secret host for the Oscars.
I think if it would be her with 4 other people or 3 other people. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think they would not lie.
Yeah,
that
no,
she's
I
been
watched the
Y'all
View
make
too
us-
much and like Joy
Yeah.
me talking too much. Like they like. No, I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if there's no host for real. So, Courtney, where can fans find you?
You guys can find me everywhere at Stuart Starlet.
Jesse,
Boom! Everywhere, DJ Jesse J.
Tanisha.
At Tanisha Laverne Grant on Instagram, all 3 names. Tanisha Soft Eye.
I like the way she said that. I got to follow that. All right, you can find me at Daryl Kristen on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. And we will be reporting about the Oscars next week.
Yep.
And
Leave
we
your
will
comments down below.
keep your comments
down.
below. And also let us know what you're talking about with Jesse. Y'all think he going to go to jail? You know, what do you think should happen? Because that story's going to keep developing.
Just confess, brother, and start.
Why
did you do that,
Start the
Jesse?
reparations.
Jesse.
Why did you do that,
Right, let's
Justin?
start it now.
Right.
Start.
All right, y'all have a great week.
Bye.
Peace.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content. And be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.